Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense. Sort of. But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost.
Welcome, everybody, to Lost on Lost. I am JP Russell, joined as always by the sequestered Adam Busher.
Somebody got a word of the day calendar.
So before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about isolation. When the Great Plague ravaged London in 1665, Sir Isaac Newton was a student at Trinity College in Cambridge. While in isolation, he studied optics and made several discoveries that are integral to our understanding of the planets and the stars. And he also developed a little thing called calculus. Now on to our isolation project, talking about a 17-year-old television show. Today, we are talking about Solitary, the 9th episode of Season 1, and the 9th episode overall. Our centric character is everyone's favorite electrical conduit, Syed. Solitary takes place on the 12th and 13th days after the crash of Oceanic 815. Adam.
Yes.
Do you have a recap for us?
I do.
Oh, let's hear it.
Morale crisis! On the island, resident trained soldier Syed Jarrah hunts for redemption only to suffer karmic repercussions. John Locke and Ethan Rom hunt for rabbits and rodents to eat while Walt Lloyd continues to lobby for role of JL's #1 fan. Social pariah James Ford attempts to make nice by gambling with stuff he should just be sharing in the first place. Hugo Reyes builds a new place for Michael Dawson to ignore his son, while Charlie Pace goes a whole afternoon without mentioning his band. And previously during the Gulf War, Syed finds love in all the wrong places. In the immortal words of Grammy Award-winning virtuoso singer Meatloaf, I want you, I'd kill my commanding officer for you, but there ain't no way I'll escape Saddam Hussein's regime with you. But don't be sad, cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Donde está Alex? And donde está Jin? More importantly, find out not this week on Lost on Lost.
Wow. Do you feel better? You feeling okay?
We have a guest.
Do we?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is with us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just Chris. It's like Cher. But every other person is named Chris, so it doesn't really work out like I wanted it to.
Well,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thanks, guys.
We got a couple of questions for you, just so that JP and I, we already know you pretty well, but the audience would love an opportunity to get to know you. So
Oh well, we'll fix that.
why don't we go with we'll start with the classic first up question.
All right.
Were you a fan of Lost? Did you watch Lost back in the day, 2004 to 2010?
Now, I got swept up in it right at the start. It was a thing like my family and I watched every week. Then season 3 happened. And I think it's pretty ubiquitously known what like season 3 is just kind of like the black sheep of...
It's, yeah.
So I honestly never got past season 3.
Okay.
I don't know how this show ends.
Oh.
I have avoided the ending of Lost till now. It is currently 2021, and I still don't know how the show ends.
Damn.
Really?
I tried to stay in the dark, so I watched the episode, and I listened to like one recent episode to stay up with the format.
Sure.
But yeah, so I could potentially go back and watch it.
That's
still...
That's
great.
fucking amazing, because like we've had a few guests on the show who have not watched the show, have not finished the show, for whatever, like you said, there are so many people that fell off on season 3.
Jack Kelly just got done with it.
Yeah, Jack
they were
Kelly.
like, nah, we're done.
And, it was just like, whatever, it's over.
Yeah.
But to not actually know how it ends, wow, that's like...
I've avoided it.
That's amazing.
I know. It's probably not going to last much longer, but...
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, if you've avoiding finding out what the finale is this long, I mean, the finale was 11 years ago, I guess, so...
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you back for the finale.
That'd be
It would
great.
be amazing to see somebody who's not seen the finale and still doesn't know what happens, because like there are people who know what that happened without having seen it, and they laid judgment upon it already without having watched it.
Of course.
Yeah, you'll just have to wait until we get to the finale, so that'll be in like another 16 years, I think.
Another question: what do you watch nowadays? What do you like?
Nowadays, I do a lot of the like what we do in the shadows. I watch a lot of animation, whether it's American or a lot of Japanese animation. Just really
I was going to say, Chris, when we lived together, I feel like you probably had the most eclectic sense of what you were watching. You were always just, there was no consistency to it, whereas I like it when things blow up and fart. You know, you were like, oh, I'm watching anime one day and then like some art house shit the next. I'm just
now,
like,
JP,
I can't keep
you
track.
would watch Stargate and you would also watch The Unit. So I know there's a little bit of the guns in both, but there was a little bit of sci-fi flair on SG-1.
I thought The Unit was a porn. I don't know.
I just stuck around waiting for it.
Yeah.
Man, when are these cops gonna fuck each other?
The tension's palpable, damn it.
Hey, y'all want to get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We might as well, right?
Let's get into it.
Jump onto that metal mattress.
Yeah, baby. It's also what my mattress in college looked like. So today we're talking about Solitary. Solitary originally aired on November 17th, 2004. It was written by David Fury and directed by Greg Yatanis. David Fury, everyone knows as the bus driver from the Jackie Thomas show. And Greg Yatanis, you'll remember from his role as store cashier in the film $40,000. Neither of them had anything to do with the adventures of Briscoe County Jr. or Titus.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah. So, we start out with Syed on the beach with some glossy 5x7s.
Can I just say that it starts out this episode with my two favorite characters, Syed and the beach. Everyone else can fuck off. My first note is no Jack so far, A+.
Chris, why did it take us this long to have you on the podcast?
I'm just saying, Jack was always overrated for me.
Nice.
And I just... Yeah.
I hated Jack before it was cool.
Yeah, you know, before everyone hated Jack, I did.
My first note is Syed shaking that cable is what's making my internet go out right now.
Oh, I did. I was like, oh, he found my internet cable or Locke's.
That's just the AT&T master cable right there.
No, it doesn't relay out.
This 5x7 that he's got in his wallet, backpack,
It's like an envelope. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too big for a wallet.
Yeah, it's too big for a wallet. That's why I was like, man, why is this picture so huge? Like, I have a picture in my wallet, and it's not that big, like, because it's not wallet size. They have a size of photo called wallet.
Right. Well, every picture can be a wallet picture depending on how scalable your wallets are.
And how big your pants pockets are.
Yes. I have a wallet the size of the Mona Lisa.
I did appreciate how much soulful pathos you got out of Syed looking at a photo.
So wistful,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, starts you off with that tone, like, I'm not fucking around, I'm earning my paycheck. Guy brings it.
This, not to literally just fixate on the first 10 seconds of this episode, but, you know, you can definitely tell that this is a season 1 episode. Like, that opening shot of Syed just sitting on the beach is really pretty. There's a handful of, like, very well-constructed shots throughout this episode, but right off the bat, they're just like, hey, we've got this fantastic real estate. Let's take advantage of it.
Well, and he's just all, like, solitary. He's all alone on the beach. Great setup.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, we don't know why he's out here by himself. Hypothetically.
Yeah.
But we do, actually. Here on Lost on Lost, because we...
Oh my God, we have an answer to a question.
we have seen the episode prior to Solitary, and so we know why Syed's out here by himself, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. We cut back to part of the repercussion of that. Jack is bandaging up Sawyer.
Ooh. I said fuckboy time, Jack and Sawyer. Oh, Lord, they coming. And Kate. Boo.
He calls Jack Jackass, which I'm like, now that's a good nickname.
Jack
Like, why
Hole?
Yeah. Jack.
Why didn't that one stick?
It should have.
Because it's on basic network television.
That's fair.
They're
They
probably
can-
allowed one Jackass per season.
Stupid ABC.
Yeah, standards and practices. Bullshit.
But yeah, Sawyer's giving Jack a hard time, and
so annoying. Like,
yeah,
okay, granted, Jack's not being like super nice about it or whatever, but like, you got stabbed.
Yeah.
Like the doctor's fixing your stab.
Well, the doctor's also partially responsible for why he got stabbed, so a little bit of attitude, but
Yeah, and that's where the attitude's coming from. Like,
Sawyer
oh,
didn't
you're just
do
making yourself feel better, huh?
yeah, he did nothing to help his own case. So everyone's a fucking idiot in this case.
Everyone sucks.
But, the line that I have written down here is Jack says, "I'm here because no one wants anything to do with you," which I think is poignant. And it makes me question if he sort of came to that realization this early in the show. Why is he such a prick still in season 2 and 3? But I don't know.
Because there has to be a bad guy that's like always around.
I guess.
He's not a bad guy so much as he's just a heel, you know?
Yeah,
He
he's
just-
a heel.
He's the epitome of antisocial behavior. It's not evil. It's not bad. It's just there's a way to socialize, and then there's the opposite of that.
Well, he's probably one of the like OG like main primetime anti-heroes.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
we're used to it with Breaking Bad now, but that wasn't around back then.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Sawyer's just unlikable, but he's still on the side of good mostly.
Right. Yeah.
Adam, you used the word antisocial to describe him, and I would agree. However, to be antisocial, maybe he should have his little solitary camp more than 25 feet away from the main camp. Yeah, they showed his little area. I was like, oh, I thought he was like out in the woods or like, like a mile down the beach. No, he's within Nerf vortex throwing distance. Like,
But he keeps the frisbee when it comes to him.
right.
He's like, it's mine now, finders
Oh
keepers.
my god. Kate. Yeah, Kate.
Hey, I'll give her this scene though. She's talking to Jack. Jack's talking about how Sawyer's being a dingus.
Yeah.
And Kate says the line, "Accidents happen when you torture people."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kate. Wow, I wish you would come to every conversation with that level of logic. But
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And then Jack just follows it, fucking up with being Jack, and he's like, so he's a soldier, he can take care of himself. Because, vet care isn't a thing in that fucking country. Good thing we've got that nailed down right.
as somebody who I just celebrated my Army birthday, I've been in the Army 10 years.
Congratulations.
Don't thank me. I can tell you, just being a soldier does not equate to being able to take care of yourself. I have met 2 soldiers in my life where I had to point out, hey, you got your boots on the wrong foot there, buddy. So, not everybody's like that, but not everybody's able to survive on their own, too. So,
Yeah. That's fair.
It's very fair.
We cut back to Syed. He started following that cable he found, and he's following it inland. Like the cable goes not only out into the ocean, but into inland in the island. And so, like, part of me was hoping that he would have followed it to the ocean and been like, "What am I doing?" and then turn around. Like, wait a second, I think this isn't gonna.
shit. I
But yeah,
forgot.
so
I can't breathe underwater.
Ah, damn it.
So he heads inland. He's following the cable, and he spots a trap. He's got some fucking eyes on him.
Oh, that
I
tripwire.
know.
So it's like,
Nah, can't give me.
you got to get up pretty early.
Pull one over on old Syed.
Well, and I thought to myself, I was like, is that the diversions that he actually steps into the
Right,
trap and fucking bamboozled?
Bamboozled.
Got him.
It's a bad Monday.
Yeah, super bad.
And then he pulls the stick out. I was like, JP, I could hear JP screaming about that. Leave the stick in.
Yes, leave it in. Leave it in. Oh, yeah. The only thing that probably, well, I mean, if it didn't hit an artery, okay, fine, whatever. But the fact that he's upside down
Hanging
and all the
upside
blood's
down,
going to,
right.
drain from his leg and go to his head.
Was the stick to the leg happenstance, or was that part of the trap? Like, it happened
don't
so
know.
quickly.
Yeah,
that, like,
I tried to go back and see.
Yeah.
I almost felt like it would, like Danielle, from what I remember, was kind of crazy.
right.
So I feel like that would be part of her deal,
Yeah.
but I feel like it also could have been happenstance.
Right, because he could have swung in any direction based
Right.
on like
Right.
his body mass. So like, I feel like it was kind of by accident.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, he gets caught in this snare and hangs there for an indeterminate amount of time. Like
Yeah.
like it was daytime when he stepped in the snare, and then it was nighttime later. Like,
Again, the nighttime shot, when that wide shot of him just hanging there is very pretty, super good.
and then a spooky figure cuts him down.
Yeah. And now we go to my favorite part of this entire episode, the Rash Man.
Yes.
This fucking guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he came from, but I love him.
Oh, Rashy Randy?
Yeah.
That's the character name I came up for him because I was like, Rashy Randy? I don't remember you being a thing. Where did you come from, Rashy Randy?
Like,
and then, Buddy Hurley comes on up.
yeah.
Like, guys, we just gotta have some fun around here, y'all.
He is not wrong.
No, he's
No.
not. As a man who has watched The Office at an unhealthy amount of times, you need the fun in your darkest moments.
Well, I wrote this down. I'm like, Hugo's kind of the like emotional barometer for the survivors. He's very empathetic. He's very like in tune with how other folks are feeling, and he's 100% right. Like, people are at a breaking point.
Yeah, they've been running at, they've been redlining for just fucking like 10, 11, 12 days at this point. Like, they're all exhausted. Like, and not just like it's most visually presented to us in Jack, but it's everybody. There's 40 people there, and yeah, how many of them aren't sleeping? How many of them aren't eating right? Like, how many of them aren't drinking enough water? How many of them are fried in the sun? They're like...
Because it's more interesting to follow Jack doing and saving shit.
Right.
But,
but
it's just holding it together barely.
Yeah. This Sullivan guy, apparently he's dealing with hives, but like...
Rashy Randy?
Yeah, Rashy Randy.
Oh, okay.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's Sullivan.
Well, that's way less cool.
You can keep calling Rashy
I
Randy.
will.
There's a bunch of really good Hurley delivery in this. And when Jack says,
We're surviving here, Hurley. And that's my main concern, is keeping us alive. Things could be worse.
Oh! Yeah! Oh my god, how?
I rewound that like 6 times.
So good. Because it's not like a shriek. It's not like he's screaming at the top of his lungs. He's like a legitimate, like, earnest...
What the fuck do you think this could happen?
It's an earnest question. How? How could this be worse?
I 100% believe that delivery. It's so good.
Oh, good.
So great. And then, I just had a note. Jack sucks.
Yeah.
Michael Scott should have been on that plane. The season would have been... I'm just saying, the show would have been way better.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
With different leadership.
Oh, Michael Keaton. If only.
Michael Keaton!
Yeah.
Didn't you know that?
No.
Oh, that's a bit of pilot trivia. Michael Keaton was originally supposed to play Jack Shepherd.
What?
But Jack Shepherd was also originally supposed to die in the pilot.
Oh, well, everything would have been better.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah. Airline nuts. So then we cut back to Syed waking up in what I assume is just a bed borrowed from a Best Western.
Oh, yeah. I think she added some support and bedding to that to make it a little more comfortable
Yeah,
for
for
him.
sure. It looks super
She's
comfy.
not a monster.
And in several different languages, he's being asked, "Where is Alex?"
Yeah, she just keeps repeating it over and over and over again. And he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. And she's like, wrong answer. This game sucks.
Oh my god.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Exactly. So then we have our first flashback.
Yeah, I think
Oh, this is the first one?
yeah, the torture in that's happening in real time sort of sends Saeed's mind to a simpler time.
Oh man,
Time
this
of
sucks.
torture.
Yep.
I really like the shot of when Saeed's interrogating this dude, and they start in Arabic, right?
Yeah.
And then they go from Arabic to English as it transitions past the dude's head. I really appreciated that.
That's one of my favorite language-based like film or television techniques. Is like when they start in it, because then it establishes in your mind, in your mind that they're not speaking English,
right?
But you can understand it.
Exactly.
And that is super helpful for the audience, especially those of us that don't speak Arabic, which people watching ABC, I would assume is zero of
and
them.
feels less just like whitewashed. Like, hey, we're just all speaking English because this is what it's like.
Right. Yeah. Earth has an official language, and it's English.
Yeah.
It's American, thank you.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, the way that the shot too, like, because he's just continuing to speak as the camera pans behind the guy's head. I loved that. That was very cool.
It's very good. So then after he's done kind of beating up some guy, he's talking with his now commanding officer, who we get the feeling that they have history together.
Yeah.
Like they were buddies, or that they knew each other in some capacity before they were superior officer and junior officer. And they're talking, and the previous episode when we were dealing with Syed in Iraq, like when the invasion's happening, I'm always watching for like the background extras, like because you'll just get some guy from Central Casting and throw an army uniform on him, and it'll just like
I
start.
can speak to that.
Yeah,
that's my job.
Right. It'll just like point the wrong end of the gun at something. So while Syed and his officer are talking, there's like two guards that are escorting one unarmed woman. And I was like, wow, the casting director was like, we need to have 2 armed guards on this woman. But then it turns out that it's actually like,
right.
It's for the plot.
Yes.
One of the things that his commanding officer lays on too is that he's going to be getting out of this current gig. He's going to be moving into intelligence. He's going to be getting promotion, all that stuff. It's like, it's all stuff that at the moment Syed's very into. And he's like, yes, I'm ready for it. Give it to me. And then, seeing the woman is just like, wait a minute, what the hell? So
they're moving him up into IT, which is just interrogations and torture.
The cush desk job, Syed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw, and then there was that cue, the Aerosmith eye fuck moment between him and Nadia, where she's walking through the hall. All of a sudden there's a breeze out of nowhere.
Yeah, so she's somebody, but we don't know who yet. Cut back to present, and Ethan. So this
creeper.
Yeah, this is our
he's
first.
the nicest guy. He's
No.
so nice here.
You are Ethan's mother, and Ethan lives with his mother.
All he's trying to do is help.
the nicest boy.
He's just trying to help John do a little hunting, just hanging out, trying to be useful.
He's always out with his friends in the woods. I don't know what he's doing out there.
I'm sure he's a fine, upstanding young man.
Yeah. No, this is our first time in the podcast where we're seeing Ethan as not a turncoat, so this is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not some sort of odd pseudo Hulk-esque guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at this moment, JP, you mentioned he's a turncoat. He's fucking turncoating it up. He's got the cover story thick.
Yeah,
he and Rashy Randy are just bumping elbows.
Yeah, what's Rashy Randy's deal, man? I want to know more about that guy. So yeah, there's a little conversation here with Walt and Locke and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I forgot how much Michael yells at Walt. Just constantly. He's a shitty dad in this, in the beginning of this. And I know that's the point, is the growth.
Right.
But like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little unbearable to see how horrible of a father Michael is.
Like 90% of my notes about Michael are just involve your son in your life. Right. Maybe if you just brought him in, it'd be fine.
Yeah. I don't have it written down. What the hell do they even talk about? Something with hunting or something?
Walt is pretending to be asleep, or not pretending to be asleep. Maybe he gets woken up by it. But like, Ethan and JL are heading back out to go hunting, and Walt hears this, and he's like, "I want to go along. I want to come along."
Yeah.
And whatever, this also wakes up Michael, and Michael's like, "You're not going hunting in the woods with 2 strange men." Like, that's how he could have framed it, but he was like, no, you can't go have fun with your friends. But it's like, no, you don't know these 2 weird old white men.
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Lay back down.
I see the look in Ethan's eyes, and no, sir.
He's definitely got a kidnapper vibe about him.
Oh yeah.
He's got a suit made out of skin.
Ick.
So then, before we cut away from this, Hurley finds something. Oh yeah, because Ethan and Locke found some more luggage in the woods, and they toss it to Hurley to sort of, he's been, sorting stuff out.
Yep.
And we hear, he opens up the bag and we hear something clinking around. I thought it was more like shooters of alcohol, and I was like, oh, this must be Jack's bag. But we don't find out what that is quite yet.
Yeah, just a strange little clinking, and the printed shirt. Oh man, I was like, that's big enough. 100% put that on, because that's a
dope shirt. Yeah,
exactly. We cut back to Syed over at his friend Daniel's house.
He's just not having a great time.
He's not.
Here's the thing about Syed. for a torturer, he's not very resistant to torture.
Yeah.
Now, no, I think he is simply knowing the game and that she's going to keep going if he looks like he's hiding something.
Maybe.
I think he's trying to make it as apparent as possible. Lady, I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to tell you straight up so I can get unhooked from this fucking Comfort Deluxe.
Maybe. That could be a strategy. But yeah, she only buzzes him like once or twice.
Right.
Before he starts to spill.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. Like, we don't know how much time. Like, this could have been hours.
Two things. One, friend of the show, Kim Davister, is a firefighter, and she's not impervious to fire. So that's my argument there.
That's a good point. It's
fair.
That's fair.
And I don't know if this is too dark for the podcast. I worked on a documentary where we interviewed a bunch of Vietnam POWs, and these dudes are all tough dudes. Like, they survived years in prison and being tortured, and they were all like, it takes very little to torture somebody to get them to talk. Like, you talk. Like, you spill it all very quickly. You're just trying to survive. Like, so you can dish it out, but not a lot of people can take it.
Right. And I'm sure that, you start spilling everything, and you start, you also just say whatever you want, whatever you can to get them to stop. So it almost makes me think that, like, torture is not one of the most effective things that you can use in an interrogation thing. I mean, but but the jury might say
you're like one of the only people to think that. So
I don't know. So Syed starts talking about the message, and Rousseau knocks him the fuck out.
Flashback. Flashback to Syed interrogating the woman. He calls her Noor, but she hits him with the, nobody calls me that.
You know that, Syed.
Even you call me Nadia.
Not even looking at him. Yeah. Calls him Syed.
Yeah, she knows. She knows. So, like, if we didn't know if Syed and Omar were friends, we now know for sure that Syed and Nadia were friends. Yeah. And they tell this is actually sort of like an adorable little story between the two of them. So, like, she used to bully him on the playground because he ignored her because, he's like, he don't give a fuck about no money. Like, yeah, your mommy and daddy are rich. That does not impress Syed. He's a young Shania Twain. Channeling that.
And he's like, really cute. Yeah. And then he hit her over the head with a sack of hammers.
It's sad. I mean, like, it was, to me anyway, it was like really sad because he's like, he's committed to the job. Like, he's like, I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but it gives you that feeling of, like, the what if, like, if they had been able to connect on some way on the playground. Yeah. Maybe his life would be totally different. He would be with her, but that's a lot of inferring. So
well, and she starts rolling through the list of, like, scars that she's got, where she was like burned with acid, and where
you see him like pull away a little bit.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that he doesn't necessarily have to deal with the consequences of his actions. Like, he took, like, that first dude that he tortured. He's probably never gonna see that dude again. And now he's seeing, like, childhood friend of his having dealt with men like him. And,
can't speak to torturing people, but I would assume you dehumanize at some point to get through it.
I would imagine.
So
totally. And he says the line, I'm gonna hurt you, and she looks him dead in his fucking soul and says, I know. It's like fucking.
But she asks him a couple, or he says that a couple times to her.
Yeah. And she's like, that's
the last
fine.
time is the worst.
Yeah. She's like, I really don't give a shit. Go ahead. How does she walk with such big balls?
Then we come back to Syed in the present. Did you guys write down what happened here? Because the only thing I wrote down was Rousseau and Syed talk about stuff.
They talk about the music. Is this where they talk about the music box? And she talks about the yacht that she was on with her husband.
Well, she points out his bullet wound.
Oh yeah, the bullet wound. How'd you get that?
And they talk. He keeps talking, asking about Alex, like, who is he?
Who is he? Yeah.
Ooh, and he did see the jacket that had Rousseau on the back of it, so that's how he calls her name. Yeah. And then she says, "Oh, I know your name's Syed from the envelope that you were carrying."
Right. Back to the caves, and Michael's fucking around with a stick.
Here's my note for this. Jack and Michael doing cave shit.
Now, this would have been a perfect opportunity for Michael to be like, okay, son, you have nothing to do. You're bored. Help me with this project.
Right.
Come on. Right there. But no, he's like, fuck
drawing,
off, kid. Find something to do. God, you gotta entertain yourself.
Building, all sorts of stuff.
I'm here drawing shit. What do you want from me?
When he said you gotta find ways to entertain yourself, I was like, motherfucker.
Really?
What?
Like, your son survived a plane crash with you and you are still talking to him that way?
God.
Good God.
Well, just like, what the... Michael's not entertaining himself.
No.
Michael's working on a project. We come to find out that he's drawing some sort of aqueduct or shower or
yeah.
something
Right.
like that. Like, okay, that's probably entertaining to him because he's an artist or whatever.
Sure.
But like, he's not fucking playing a game. He's not entertaining himself. He's doing something. He's working on a project. Like that's not entertainment. Like, look at me, I'm entertaining. Shut the fuck up.
You know, he's gonna just go outside and then be like, what can I do? And then he's gonna see Sawyer with all the guns and cigarettes and be like, that seems pretty fucking dope.
Or like what really happens, he's like, oh, hey, Locke in a field with a knife. This can't be bad.
We're gonna fucking get there, baby.
Oh, you know.
So then the one the one thing I want to point out. So Hurley is up to something, and he grabs Michael's stick, which I still don't understand why Michael had that stick. And Jack and everybody's like, what are you doing? He's like, I need to borrow this. And he stops right before he exits the scene, and he turns and has this maniacal laugh. Now, we've said already that Hurley Hugo Reyes is the television version of our dearly loved and departed friend Peter Murphy. I had also seen Peter Murphy with that same look and laugh right before he would like run out of the room, but he'd have like a fifth of vodka and bottle rockets in his hand or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
usually much less safe.
Yeah, so I saw that little exchange there, and just my heart swelled because he has this maniacal fun laugh.
Right.
Fantastic.
Cut back to Syed. He's sort of spilling the beans as to what he's doing out here in the woods. And I still, like, I would have bought any other motivation for this walkabout other than I accidentally stabbed a racist sex pest. And I feel bad about that.
But it's so believable.
Yeah.
And, like... I just and this is just me as an audience member, but like Sawyer sucks so hard. Like if I accidentally stab Sawyer, I'd be like, sorry. I guess that would not make me feel bad to
Kind of a
separate
piece of
myself
shit.
in this situation, especially like in this situation where there's safety in numbers, and if you're going into the unknown or whatever, like that would not make me feel bad enough to wander off on the beach by myself.
Yeah, but Syed's a good person, so he's opening the box of tools he said he wouldn't open again, and he's done it. And now he's got to deal with the repercussions because regret is real.
He's a good person, but he's a lowercase b bad man.
Oh,
like
yeah, absolutely, he can be, but the thing that saves him is his conscience in the end.
right? Yes,
Like
absolutely.
when to use those skills.
Yeah.
He's not just like, oh, hey, Kate, you fucking suck. I'm going to torture you.
Wish he would.
I know, that'd be cool.
He also spills here that Nadia is dead because of him. So I mean, like, this is something that we only just learned now, and dude's carrying some shit around.
Yeah.
Beyond like all the torture baggage. God.
Yeah. Everybody does. And I was thinking about that in the context of this is what the 9th episode of the show. Like, we're delving deep into these characters. That's some pretty heavy shit to hit people with, like not even halfway through your first season.
Yeah.
Well, especially being a person of color too, I felt like it was really helpful at the time because especially a guy with his background. I mean, not a lot of people were looking at Arab characters with like, hey, I can connect to this person.
Oh, yeah.
It was really fantastic.
Still deep into Iraq at that point.
I mean, it was less than a year after the beginning of the invasion. And it's like,
it was real fresh.
Yeah. To have a character that you can connect with on our screen, that's pretty fucking bold.
Yeah,
I think useful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 2004, fucking Fallujah. Yeah. So Rousseau gets really close to his face in this scene.
Oh God, I was like, is she gonna just lick him?
Yeah.
She's like, it's been so long.
And she says, I want to show you something. And the music gets like really creepy. And I'm like, oh no, she's got a fuck doll made out of coconuts. Like, it's something bad. She's been keeping a body or something.
Robert. Yeah, it's just 3 coconuts. And then right behind it, this is Alex. And
That's
it's a pile,
not Alex.
Pile of mangoes. Just like all mushed up.
Oh no. Cut back to the caves.
So this is where we find out that Michael's designing a shower. He's explaining to Jack how a shower works, and Jack's like, that's pretty cool.
Showers, huh?
Well, I said, like, this is the first useful instance of Michael that we've ever seen on this podcast. Like, the drawing's good, the concept is good. Like, yeah, sure, it is important to shower, but, like, you also have the ocean you can just go clean up in.
Right.
Like, you don't need fresh water to shower. But you know what? Hey, if you want to make it, my guy, more power to you. Go for it. Have fun.
And Jack's right there to be like, aren't you in construction? What are you doing thinking? I'm like, thanks, Doc.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't like, I'm good at drawing too, and then started like working with watercolors or some shit.
Some pastels I found.
Yeah.
He just takes it, and the next scene we see is him showing Katie, be like, look, I designed a shower.
Just like colored shittily over it. Yeah. Like all out of the lines with a blue crayon everywhere.
Yeah.
See, that's where the water goes.
Charlie jumps out of detox just to tell us that Hurley has something to show us.
Hey guys, I'm totally fine. By the way, Hurley over here has something for us.
Yeah, they go out to the golf course.
This
that Hurley's built.
Oh yeah, he's built a golf course.
Is such a goofy fucking bit, and we spend so much time of the episode on it, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I don't give a shit.
And it's so weird with the Syed shit to have this dichotomy of like, maybe the writers were like, okay, maybe the audience doesn't want to go full in right away with Syed, so we gotta have white people golfing just to balance it out.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Make them feel comfortable. Ease them in Matthew Fox with a golf club.
So like Michael and Jack like are bagging on Hurley about this. It's like, we got so much shit going on, but but Hurley, like, again, I said it before, he's right.
Yes.
They gotta blow off some steam.
But also, like, Michael says something about, like, this is what you're spending your time with. But it's like, dude, he got a flag and dug a 3-inch hole in the ground. Like,
he found the bottom of a 2-liter of soda. That's what I love. And made a cup out of it. He's like, you're wasting all your time. This took me 15 minutes.
Did you mow this all yourself, Hurley?
No, I didn't.
I'm out here sourcing Kentucky bluegrass for the greens.
I took a sand pit.
Yeah, I'm getting a rake to make sure that's all, whatever.
Just wait till you see the back nine.
There's a water feature.
Just wait till you
and then
see
I love
the
Charlie's
back
little
nine.
like throwaway of like, oh yeah, we had a polar bear, and Michael's like, a polar bear, and I was like,
Okay.
a polar bear. That's
So-
right, a polar bear.
So I forget which episode it is, but Hurley says something to Jack about like, well, maybe I could help if I was in the know. And Jack's like, what do you mean? There isn't in the know. And he's like, dude, that's exactly what he said. And like, the polar bear happened like 7 days ago.
Yeah.
You have nothing else to talk about on this island, and they still kept that shit under wraps. Either that or Michael's that fucking stupid, which I also believe.
Yeah.
But like, that he didn't. There's a loop. There's absolutely a loop.
There's a loop, and certain people aren't in it. There's probably more than one loop.
I hate to tell you, but you're on a fucking island. There are 40 people. A polar bear shows up. Someone is going to spill those beans within 5 hours.
Well, also, if there's one polar bear, it's astronomically like it's so improbable that there's a polar bear there.
Right, it's a tropical island.
Right? Is it improbable that there might be two? Hey, maybe we should put out a fucking bulletin to everyone and say, "Don't go out in the fucking woods. There's goddamn fucking polar bears out here." Like,
there's an aggravated polar bear who's looking for its mate and is now insane with rage because it's.
But nah, he's like patting Michael on the back about drawing a shower. He's like, good job, buddy. This will keep us safe when the polar bear strikes.
cut back to Rousseau.
Yep. Syed volunteers to fix her music box, and Danielle shoots him up with some sort of drug.
Dude. Well, she talks about Robert for a hot second.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got the world's grossest needle and just kind of like rubs it on some paper or some shit.
Oh, God, yeah. What is that? Like sandpaper or some shit?
Steel wool. Something
Like, this'll get it.
Yeah, but Saeed's like, hey, I could fix your music box if it means, he's trying to just extend any olive branch so that he's just like, I'm trying to be cool so that you don't fucking electrocute me anymore.
Right.
And she knocks him out with a needle.
Yep.
He's more afraid of that needle than the shit she was putting in him.
Ugh.
Oh, for sure.
Tetanus.
Sorry, I gave you a sedative and fucking tetanus.
Hep B.
Yeah, and then he's got
You're
lockjaw for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We got back to the golf course.
Again,
This little scene
It's so good.
It's so goofy with the two of them just like because just
Face to face, Michael and Jack.
because you think it's like, okay, well,
Right.
we're gonna build an island resort for Hurley to retire to for the rest of the time because he
Right.
can't handle it. Like that's
Right.
that's what you're supposed to assume they're
Right.
talking about.
Oh my god.
But no, they're talking about golf.
Does the golf course stick around for the rest of the show?
Oh.
Do they ever reference it again? It's a
Oh
thing,
baby,
right?
it's so there.
As I'm in the left seat for this episode, I looked up a little bit of trivia, and I guess
okay.
a lot of the dialogue revolving around the golf course scenes was improvised.
Which makes total sense.
So.
It's like you're out there as the cast and you're just like, this is too goofy. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
let's let loose. Let's have a little fun out here. You know?
Let them, yeah.
But also, once Jack he goes to tee up his shot, you really get a sense for like the location they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You know,
gorgeous.
so often, Game of Thrones or Vikings or whatever, it's like, yes, we're filming on locations. Great. Outlander. Wonderful. But like, there's a lot of those scenes still take place in villages and towns. And it's like, yeah, you get some sweeping shots here or there. Here we get this beautiful wide shot where you just see the fucking mountains and shit in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And you got Jack, you got your cast. Everyone's really there.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, it's not like, oh, we filmed just these couple of exteriors in Iceland and then we filmed the rest in LA. It's like,
Right.
no, this was
No,
all
this is a
Hawaii.
fucking hill in
And it's
Hawaii.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And fucking Rash Man shows back up.
Rashy Randy! Some nutsack comes up and chatters to Jack right in the middle of his backswing. Oh, God. And guess what he forgets about the second he realizes what they're doing? His fucking rash.
Yeah.
Fucking
Can I
Rashy
play?
Randy.
Shut the fuck up, dork.
I'm the Rash Man.
God. Cut back to Syed and Rousseau, yeah.
Who's like reverse torturing her, kind of. He's like got the music box and he's asking her questions now.
Yeah.
He's
And it's
giving
like-
a little interrogation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing a little interrogation.
Sorry I had to use a sedative on you to get you off of the bed.
Yeah, it was the only
Dude.
clear way.
When he wakes up, like waistband chain, that like jerk that he does up
Oh,
and then
that
back
Hulk out?
down. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it just looked painful. Like Saeed's woken up several times in the last few days, really hurting.
Yeah.
He's looking around. He's looking at maps, sort of surveying the area, what she's got.
And this is the point where, like you said, Chris, he's asking her some questions, and she starts to answer a couple of them. And she spills how she got to the island, like why she's on the island. Like,
We talked about this before. I was waiting for her to go like, well, my name is Henry Gale, and I came here in a hot air balloon. And we heard this one before.
Everyone just arrived by hot air balloon. That's it.
if she would have said that would have been the first one.
Yeah.
She would have
No,
been
the
the
first
original.
time.
She would have been the original Henry Gale if that would have been her story. Missed
Science
opportunity.
bone.
Missed opportunity there, because that's the other thing. Rule of 3 for comedy. Rousseau sets up the hot air balloon bit in season 1, episode 9.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Ben Linus does the big bit, number 2, in the middle of season 2, and then season 3, the final payoff, number 3, is Naomi. Rule of 3 for comedy.
Henry Gale, hot air balloon. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, fucking Rousseau starts sort of spilling the beans sort of all over the place. She's using all this vernacular that someone who's been on the island 16 years would understand, but it's all new to Syed. She's talking about the science team, shipwreck, the Black Rock, the others.
Mentioning how some of them were carriers,
yeah,
or they were
carriers,
the carriers for
right.
something. And I was like, yes, give me lore, give me lore.
Yeah, this place is dangerous, we know. How weird is it? Come on.
Give me that goose. I do want to spend a minute on this little exchange here when she's like, you think I'm crazy, don't you? And he's like, I think you've been alone too long, which has sort of, and feel free to jump in on this. I read that two different ways. The first way being like, yeah, she has been alone very long, and he sees sort of some sympathy in that because he kept people in isolation. He's like, oh shit, like I see a lot of the signs. But then also, like, they talk about the fact she's been there 16 years. She's had a distress signal going out for 16 years. If she didn't get rescued, what chance do they all have of getting rescued?
Yeah. It's kind of that realization of, oh, fuck, we might be here.
It like, this is still relatively fresh in Syed's mind, I would think, because it only just happened in the pilot. So 9-10 days ago. But like when they first heard the signal and that there was that removing of the hope when they realized that it was a 16-year-old thing, and then and then how tragic it is to find out that that we thought that this was a doomed transmission, that there's no way that whoever left this is still around, and then to find that person and they're the only one too, like,
and they are not doing great.
Yeah
Talk
about a gut punch,
because for all he knows, she's hearing voices and there's no one there.
Yep. Cut back to a flashback of, I'm sorry, what's her name?
Nadia?
Yeah, cut back to a flashback, and Nadia is in isolation. And Syed shows her some pictures.
He's trying to help. It's like he's, trying to
sneak in her
some food. Give her some food. And it's like, just, point to one of these guys. You don't even say a name. Just not. Just, like.
Right.
He wants to get her out, obviously.
Yeah.
And
right.
So.
And you can really hear, I think, start to see his turn. Because before it's like he's so loyal to the cause. And then seeing Nadia is that tie to his personal life and not his military life. But now the walls are crumbling.
Yeah.
And there isn't so much of a distinction anymore.
Yep.
Cut back to Shannon's butt.
Oh, God. All of the worst people are coming to ruin golf now. Everyone's like, did you hear there's golf? I heard there's golf. Let's go. And it's just like, oh, fuck, but you're all the worst. Why?
Yeah, I just wrote, no one invited you, Kate.
And then Kate's like, well, sir, if you gotta go, maybe you just shouldn't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll fix it.
There's something so fucking broken between Kate and Sawyer, because we saw confidence, man. We saw Sawyer's constant chasing of the kiss and the stuff, and just like how fucking cool Kate is with that shit. Like, it's stuck in my mind. Even though we're watching it out of order, and Confidence Man wasn't the last episode we saw, like, I still have it stuck in my head about how fucking awful Sawyer was with this creepy sexual harassment and assault of Kate. And it does not affect her.
Yeah.
Or if it does, she's not showing how it is, and it's just like, ugh. So, like, I can't. Ugh.
He's also like, he's a sleazy like grifter. Kate refers to herself as like as a fellow outcast or something like that. It's like, you weren't particularly good at the whole like. Yeah, she blew up her stepdad with a stove, and then immediately, like, the con fell apart because she told, like, a restaurant full of people that she did it, and then, like, accidentally got away from the marshal, and, like, you're an outcast, but only, like, technically.
Yeah, you're not like a fringe person.
Right.
You're like, oh, I walked out of Macy's with these shoes and no one caught me.
Yeah.
An outcast.
Yeah. But he has self-reflected about what Jack told him, and he's like, not too crazy about crowds, and they're not too crazy about me either. And it's like, he's actually like taking that to heart pretty quickly.
Realizing his situation.
Yeah. I also really appreciate the giant plane engine turbine as like a background set piece there. Like some fucking crew had to go get that out on the beach, and that's like that extra mile shit.
So good. That busted up
set dressing had to do something on this fucking show.
It's so good.
Shannon's butt, that shot, it bugged me.
So gratuitous and just like,
it's such obvious male
hello,
gaze.
Male gaze. How are you today?
Yep.
Syed fixes the music box. And
we see that after he returns the music box to Rousseau, he has kept the screwdriver, which we assume he's like, and he says something about, I forget the exact line. Do you guys remember? He says something like, you don't have to do this, or
it's basically like, are you sure? Could you please let me go? Like, he's giving her another chance to let her go before he tries to break free.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is super legit and shows you where he's at still. Like, I know she may not be fully there. I know I've been shocked and tortured by this woman, but I'm not trying to make an enemy. Will you let me go?
Well, and I wonder, let's say he got himself out of the restraints right there and then. Who wins, Rousseau or Syed? Because I don't fucking know.
No, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
I think he's on her turf. Who knows what fucking booby traps she had in that place.
And he's wounded. I mean, if I had to put just money down there, I'm probably going through so.
Is it just me, or does he not seem to be like dealing with his leg as much of an issue like I feel like it should have been?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I feel like he's not feeling the leg issue.
It's
like
a-
he's
Yeah.
moving around a little too freely, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
got that adrenaline going maybe, but still, you got a puncture.
Totally.
You're a Capri Sun right now.
What's that Tosh joke? I could never stab somebody to death. I'm really bad with a Capri Sun.
I could barely open a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We hear a roar outside. Yeah.
There's a roar. Yeah, there's a roar out in the jungle.
Yeah.
And, did she say anything
She
about it
says
before she
hopefully
leaves?
it's just the bears.
Oh,
Hopefully it's just one of the bears. And you're like, what the fuck else is out there?
Yeah.
I hope it's one of the bears.
And she says that there's no such thing as monsters, which I'm like,
Yeah,
has
that
she
was
just
right.
not encountered the smoke monster? Like,
Or if she has encountered the smoke monster,
knows more than-
she knows what it actually is.
Yeah.
Or if yeah. That was like she said the bears thing, and I was like, ooh, and then she said the no such thing as monsters thing. I was like, that's scarier,
Right?
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Especially like after all the shit about the Black Rock and the carriers,
Yeah.
like the fuck, well, no monsters.
There's no monsters. I thought you were a monster. Like this is fucked up. Like
And it's coming from someone who is like covered in dirt and burlap, like, and has
been here
crazy
for
in her
16
eyes.
years.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
yeah. Jesus. Then we flash back to Omar ordering Syed to execute Nadia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
And that's
Not
kind
it.
of all that happens in that scene.
Yep.
Now then we immediately cut back to Syed still in Rousseau's hideout,
Yep.
breaking free. Snatches all her maps, all her papers, and the backup rifle.
Hell
Now,
yeah.
JP, as
Yeah.
a gun person, firing pin, how hard is it to notice that has been removed?
Honestly, very.
Wouldn't Syed notice being in the military?
No, not necessarily, because like on a
bolt action rifle like that.
right, because once you bring the action back, is going to cock the firing pin back, so it should be recessed on the bolt face, so you wouldn't see the firing pin. Now,
Okay.
like if you were to take like a flashlight and like a look down there, you might be able to, but like
Sure, but he's not taking the time to do that shit. He's not
right,
giving it a full
I would not have
strip down.
checked. I just would be like, is there ammo in this? Fucking rock and roll.
Okay. Just as a non-gun person, I was like, well, like,
Yeah.
is it apparent that it's not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he bails. He grabs the shit and he takes off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's smart. Like, if it were me, I wouldn't have left without grabbing that gun too, regardless
No,
of it.
The
absolutely.
maps are a huge boon.
Maps,
Let's
yeah,
be
totally.
honest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest win.
Yeah, I mean, because that was Syed's justification too. Other than like he was putting himself into exile for stabbing Sawyer, he's like, I'm gonna map the island.
Yeah.
Right, and say, oh well, fuck it, I found some. I can go home way earlier.
Guys, the tourist depot just fucking had him. Do you believe that?
Then he could come back and be like, they're like, this island must not be that big, huh, Syed? He's like, no, I'm just that good.
I'm just really fast. Did you get stabbed in the leg? Yeah, I'm really lightheaded right now.
I had to get a little lighter to run.
Cut to the golf course.
The fucking golf course.
Yeah,
of course, Jack is good at golf.
This I buy this because like I mean he's a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Like
You're right.
Sawyer makes that joke. Oh, a doctor playing golf? Now I've seen everything.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I buy that. Like even with the long grass and the probably shitty clubs and
Yeah.
like
Just fucking hacks it out
just
there.
yeah. But he's killing it. So whatever.
Yeah.
He needs to
her-
spend his time in the rough, let's be honest.
Hurley sitting there just whacking away.
Hacking it up, chopping that lettuce. Jack is as good at golf as Michael is bad at being a father.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Why don't they make Walt the bag boy, for God's sakes? Make him a caddy. Give the poor boy something to do. His dad doesn't want him around.
That's what I'm saying when he's like, do you want to go? And he's like, there's other people. I'm like, let your son take your turn.
Right. It's your turn. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh, can you just fuck off a little that way? You're too close to old Peps. You're stinking up the room, Walt.
You left me alone. I left you with Claire. You left me alone.
She was asleep, yeah, and you didn't do anything.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Cut back to the jungle.
Yep. Cut back to the jungle. Saeed's running from Rousseau. He hears the noise around her, whatever, and so he gets the drop on her.
Yeah.
but not really. When JP, we've talked about this before. When people have weapons and then they're pointing them at other people.
Yeah.
You don't point a weapon at a person unless you're ready to
intend.
right. Like, and so he had her dead to rights and just stood there and watched her raise her rifle.
Slowly raise the rifle.
Yeah, not even quickly. Just like,
No, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this now.
bam.
Yeah.
Level playing field.
Right.
Yep.
Although this scene did make me want to ship Locke and Danielle Rousseau. I was like, is this a thing that ever happens? Can they just bone? Two survivalists just out in the woods, like, yes, in the rugged rough.
Hold on. Chris, how did you get into my computer? Have you been reading my fanfic? Stop it.
I mean, first time caller, big time fan, long time fan.
It flashes back to Syed busting Nadia out of,
she's
of jail.
on like death row, basically walking the mile there.
Yep.
He tells the two goons to take a hike. I got her from here.
And and he's like, there's a truck right up there, Blit. And she's like, come with me. And it's like, I can't. The penalty for desertion is they'll kill my whole damn family. So no, I would love to, but I can't.
Yeah.
But then
Takes too long. Omar shows up.
oh no, Omar.
Omar
and then oops, it's treason.
Oh,
Yeah.
bummer.
It would have been better if he had like a bag of chips in his hand or something. Like,
He's just
hey,
like
what,
munching. He's like,
what are you
"Hey, What are
doing?
you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Just eating a
those my
donut
chips?
wrap.
Yeah.
I said, hand off my Lay's.
But he's like, he starts calling for the guards and reaching for his gun simultaneously,
Yeah,
and Syed just gets the fucking drop on him. He's just
Yep. Yeah. So,
shoots-
I mean, it's established here that Syed will pull the trigger when it's time to pull the trigger. So,
no doubt.
he takes the cuffs off Nadia. She writes him the note. She sticks in his pocket, and he's like, okay, here's the plan. You took my gun, you shot him, and then you shot me. And she's like, what? And he's like, pow.
Which, again, fantastic quick thinking. Don't shoot yourself in the thigh, please. There's your femoral arteries right there. Shoot yourself in the foot. Like,
Something.
don't shoot yourself in the fucking leg.
And did anyone else get motion sickness from this scene with Syed and Nadia's faces close together? And it looked like the director was just shaking the cameraman by the back. He's like, it's not shaky enough, Michael. I said shakier, damn it. I want to feel the emotion.
His friend of the show, his good friend Larry Fong.
Yeah.
Fabulous. But yeah, just really, it felt very intense. It helped sell the moment, obviously.
And then in classic Lost fashion, when they cut back to the picture and he flips it over and it's got some writing on the back, the shot's just out of focus.
Classic Lost.
Classic Lost.
Yeah. But yeah, really, really very emotional little send off there.
Yep. She heads out and that's it. We cut back to the jungle standoff, and Syed's like, let me go, and she's like, no, and so he pulls the trigger now, even though she's already got the gun on him, and click.
And then Mom's disappointed face.
Yeah, that's such
I wish you wouldn't have done that, sweetling.
Oh boy.
Man. But then Rousseau says, what did she say?
Robert didn't notice either.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then she says, they were already lost.
Oh, yeah, and then it's like,
Drink.
oh my god. And then you're just like, how fucking crazy is this chick? What happened?
Yep. She's like, I killed everybody. I killed them all because they were all sick. They all had the Rona, and I blasted them.
Now, if Rona had been around at the time, I would have been like, girl, you do you. You gotta save yourself. But it's just some unknown disease at the time, and I'm a young, early aughts Chris.
Probably wasn't even a disease. They all had just allergies. They're allergic to jump.
It's hay fever, Rousseau. Fucking chill.
They all had vertigo.
I saw your eyes. You're a carrier.
Blam, 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 blam.
Especially on the podcast here, I think it got brought up one other time about them being sick or something, but like we don't really know what the fuck she's talking about with
Not
them.
at all.
No, and that's super fucking creepy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's that good shit.
That's good. That's what kept me around for another season.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah, they kind of come to a bit of a ceasefire agreement here. Like, she's like, your people that you're gonna get back to, just keep an eye on them. He's like, you can come along, and she's like, I think I'm too weird.
Yeah. I don't think they'll get me.
I don't think
like a jungle vibe.
she was like, I can't let you go. You don't know what it's like to have someone to talk to. And it's like, that is a basic human need is interaction.
Oh, God. 16 years? I can't imagine what
Holy
that's
fuck.
like.
I'm surprised she can still remember how to speak.
I mean, I'm sure she's been having conversations with herself for the last 15 and a half years.
It's
So
like fucking wild. Like on my days off on Friday, if I don't hear the sound of my own voice for 8 hours, I just say something out loud in my apartment to make sure that like my ears still work. Like,
I think after going through the pandemic, we've all been at some point talking to ourselves if we didn't have someone in the room with us.
That's why I got a cat when I lived alone, just so that there was another living thing. Yeah. But she has interactions with the others. So like that's at least giving her something to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's her escape from the loneliness is survival.
And the last thing that they say before they part ways is that she gives them the last bit of information. The question that he had from the beginning: Who is Alex? Who is he? She says, Alex
Was my child.
my child.
Yeah, she
phrasing
was
a lot
my
of shit
child.
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she said she. Yeah. So yeah, Syed out here assuming gender.
And as we learned from the Jacob episode of this podcast, while Rousseau has turned into the jungle, Alex has turned into a wood nymph.
Real quick sidebar right there. Fucking casting department crushing it.
Oh,
there
yeah.
Between Alex and Danielle.
Super good. I believe
So
it.
good.
Yeah.
Could be related.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, cut back to the golf course.
Ethan's creeping as usual. First note I've got about this. He's just in the back like, hey, what is this game? Is it something you humans play?
Is this the King's Lynx?
I didn't notice a single thing that was happening during the scene because did you guys notice it?
What?
One of the back road survivors is wearing jorts.
Oh.
And I totally, after I saw that guy, I completely zoned out for a good 30 seconds. And the word jorts was just rattling around in my head like a fucking BB in a tin can. Just jorts.
No, I can confidently say I did not have that same experience watching this scene. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god.
They're gambling on golf. Golf's not enough. They gotta gamble too. Bunch of fucking degenerates.
Oh, yeah. But Sawyer, ponying up with other people's shit like a top champ.
No, I think that's his way of connecting. He thinks that Jack is absolutely going to sink this so he can give some of these things to these people.
Right.
He makes the sucker's bet so that he can save a little face.
But again, still like, it's their shit.
But
like,
again,
I get the intent behind it, but it's like,
again,
thanks.
the good dude thing would have not been hoarding sunscreen in the fucking first place.
We didn't need to fucking stab you to get this shit.
25 feet away from everyone.
If we just built the golf course before the torture.
Yeah.
God. So they're sort of trying to make nice with great assistance from Kate. Had Kate not said anything, that would have fell completely on its face.
Oh yeah.
But so he extends the olive branch, she grabs it, and then Boone also grabs it because let's not forget that Boone's there.
Oh yeah.
Boone. Oh yeah, Boone. No gin though.
Cut to Locke.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
This is JP's favorite.
This is my shit.
Talk about outcast, just out by himself, nowhere near the golf course, nowhere near the beach, nowhere near the caves, nowhere near weird Ethan.
No one's fucking kids. Damn it!
It's time for me. Just some alone time with my knives. Just Ethan's gone. It's no weird kids.
Hey, that looks like fun!
Have you been there the whole time?
How fucking long? I'm sorry, Dorothy. It's this boy again.
Is the knife named Dorothy?
He calls his knife Dorothy. And it was just quality time.
That's canonical now.
Okay. The Walt is there. He's just like, can you teach me how to throw a knife? And Locke's like, fuck yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Here's a knife the size of your arm.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
We've got a doctor.
Just like whatever, sure, let's do it.
Fun. Which makes me think that John Locke could be a horrible father too. All of Walt's father figures are horrible father figures.
He's everyone's daddy.
Oh boy.
Cut back to Syed hustling through the jungle, finally dealing with his leg.
Yeah.
He's got
I was like,
his
oh yeah,
crutch.
he is hurt.
Yeah. There's something like, so he starts to hear the whispers sort of in the wind. I've been in the woods alone, like that same sort of like just before the fucking, like the sun is down, but before like dark truly sets in.
Right, it's like late magic hour. Like it's
Yeah, and I've had it where like the wind is howling through the trees and you're just alone, and it's creepy as fuck.
It is. I totally, as a boy from Wisconsin,
Yep.
felt this moment, and I wrote it. Syed alone in the woods is me, and then it just says lost, and I was like, oh yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's terrifying.
Did you bring your rainfly? Was that bottle of bourbon full before you put it in the trunk? Are your plates on your car about to expire? We've been trying to contact you about your warranty.
God damn it.
And yeah, the lost card comes up, and bam, that's it. That's the end of Solitary.
It was a good episode.
So I know we talked about this a little bit before the episode. Like Chris and I both seem to enjoy it. Adam, you seem to be sort of the odd man out. What do you think of this episode?
For as many things that happened in it, nothing happened.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's very
Like,
fair.
This was a day and a half, 2 days on the island, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they blew off the steam. They boosted morale, which is an important part of the survival aspect of the show. Both from a realistic and a television standpoint, whatever. But yeah, like nothing happened, and so just for me as an audience member, I remember watching this episode like on DVD in order and just seeing it and be like, okay, cool, yeah, getting to know Syed a little bit more. I love that.
Yeah.
Comic relief. I don't know. I think what it ends up being at the end of it for me is it was too much comic relief.
Oh,
The
okay.
golf portion took up so much of the episode that it pulled out some of the weight of the Syed stuff for me.
Sure.
But that's me, and I'm totally comfortable being in the minority
No,
on that. Like,
it's- It is a weird juxtaposition, but I look at this versus the episode with the low stakes poker, and I had so much more fun watching the silly golf than
That's fair.
the really lame poker game.
that's legit.
Yeah, because the characters genuinely feel like they're having a good time
Yeah.
in this. Also, again, to kind of set the dichotomy of how intense the Syed shit is with the levity of golf.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
kind of keeps those weekly audiences less like, I'm in a war story, and a little
Right.
more like, hey,
Sure.
we're going to ground you to these human characters a little more.
It can prevent emotional burnout in your audience
Yeah.
by not continually if the second half of this episode is not as light as the golf thing, that you could easily burn out your
And
audience.
it gives you a chance to show your characters in a situation that you're not usually. Like,
Yeah.
they're always fighting for their life.
Yeah.
But are they fucking around a little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
But
So,
like you said, Adam, tonally, it's such a left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn.
That said, I still liked the episode. Yeah, I still liked it. I got to the end of it, and this might be partially due to the cliffhanger, but I know it's partially due to the content of just me being a fan of Syed.
Yeah.
Just a few episodes ago, Tom Offer-Wester, I guess, provided us with a yardstick that I can't believe we didn't think of. But Tom's like 100 times smarter than Jamie
Yeah.
and I, so like,
That's
I
not
guess it
hard.
also makes sense that he
100
thought of it.
times nothing is nothing. So
That's but he framed it as did this episode make me want to watch another one? And that's like a really good yardstick for it. And
this
even-
episode did that.
Yeah, even at the
Totally.
end of it, despite the fact that it was tonally a little strange for me, I still wanted to watch another one right away.
And for me, being the first episode I've seen since season 3 started airing,
Yeah, so
I haven't seen any more episodes of Lost since then. Getting back into when it was like the core kind of catching my interest in that first season, and you're kind of getting just little tastes of the lore. Like, that's where I kind of felt that again with
Yeah.
Danielle in there, the Black Rock, this contagion, whatever, they're carriers of something. It sets up so much more that I didn't mind that not a lot actually happened, because I was getting
a lot
kind
of
of that
foundational like
that
mythology
promise
stuff.
of later on you're going to get some shit.
Yeah.
Some cool shit too, not just like bears,
That's fair.
which is fine. I'm fine with bears, but
Yeah.
give me smoke monsters. Give me whatever this Black Rock is. Give me all this cool lore shit. Why did you murder your husband? Like, there's just a lot of cool shit that she just kind of grazes over.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Y'all want to move on to some MVP?
Let's do
Do
it.
it.
All right, so Lost MVP. So this is your favorite character from the episode, minus context, minus anything you know about them later on in the show. Just for this 50 minutes of television, who was your favorite? Who is your MVP, Chris?
Hurley, because he fucking gets it in this one. He's telling everybody what they need, and they're all trying to fight him on it, and then as soon as they start, lo and behold, he was the fucking sage the whole time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hurley with the win.
Hurley. Not
Absolutely
bad at all.
solid pick.
Yeah. JP, what do you think? Who's your Lost MVP?
It's fucking Walt, baby.
Walt.
Yep.
That might be a first.
Yeah, because
For the show.
While everyone else is out playing the fucking links, screwing around while there's goddamn polar bears probably right in the fucking tree line, he's like, who am I going to? I'm going to go to Daddy Locke and I'm going to learn some fucking useful skills. God. I'm going to be #1 Johnny Locke fan club, and I'll be #2 then. That's fine. If it helps Walt survive, he can be the #1 John Locke fan. I'm all for that shit.
Be your knife boy, Daddy Walt.
Yeah.
Daddy Locke.
Good.
Adam.
Jorts guy.
Jorts guy! Of course it is. He brought his own wardrobe that day, too. That wasn't even provided. That was from his own closet. He
just
got an extra bump just for that.
It's just a grip. That's just how grips
Yeah,
work.
that was a grip that they didn't know.
But I mean, the second I saw it, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for this and wanting it. Why? Why is everybody wearing pants?
Yeah.
Is that TJ from the Grips asleep in the shot?
Yeah,
but we're rolling ready. Don't wake him up.
Yeah. That's amazing.
If he was wearing like work gloves and had a water bottle in his back pocket, like that's
Some rolls of
100%.
tape.
Yeah,
What-
it's 100%
One of the guys
grip.
watching them did have a water bottle that he was like holding and using as a visor at one point, and I was like, "That's a fucking grip. That's 100% a grip."
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to any Grip brothers out there
yeah.
listening.
Or solidarity, local lady. No, we
I was
love
a
you
grip
guys.
is fine. Yeah. If
Heyo.
he would have been using it as a spitter, that would have like
Just a
sealed the
clear
deal.
plastic cup as a spitter.
Just an
Yep.
inch of
Just
tepid
black,
brown,
tarry,
black,
gross.
yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. Lost Forever. Who could we deal without? Who's your least favorite person in Solitary? Chris.
I mean, I know I can't do it, but Jack. He's
You
the
can do
person
it.
I audibly was just like, fuck. That's right, he's in this show. And heavily. It's Jack. Fuck Jack. He's
Don't
just
feel
such
bad.
a Debbie Downer. I don't feel bad. The more I say it, no, I'm confident.
JP, Lost Forever.
Michael. It's frankly irresponsible. If he's gonna be Jack's fucking caddy and he's letting him go onto that with a 7-iron, fuck you, Michael. That is a 4-iron minimum. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Get out of here. That's all I have to say about that.
That's fair.
Adam, forever, lost forever. Who is lost forever?
Sullivan. Rashy Randy.
Rashy Randy.
You
What?
piece of shit. No, he's
You
fantastic.
take that back.
Just get it out, guys. Go
He's
ahead.
the comedy relief of the comedy relief segments.
Yeah.
He's the guy I didn't even know was on the island. How could you so easily
Fucking
cut him?
Rash Man.
Okay, wait, I see. I've talked myself out of it now. I don't care.
And I know I'm going to alienate some people here, but golf is a dumb sport. It's resource intensive. It eats up a lot of land. I'm not a fan of it. I know why people like it. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum here or anything like that. But
Yuck anybody's yum.
I think golf is fucking dumb. That said, if it's the only thing you got, abide by the etiquette of the sport. Don't speak during another player's backswing.
Oh,
It's
that's
as simple as
super
that.
fair. That's super fair.
golf?
You were like, were you walking up to the tee with your fucking eyes closed? You saw him raise the club, wait till he takes the stroke, and then, are you guys, my rash is worse. It's the size of a grapefruit. Is this golf? Can I play? Fuckhead.
What was he hoping? Like baby seals were being clubbed? He's like, oh, I hope they're not clubbing baby seals. Is this golf?
Just wait, and like everyone does for the PGA, wait until after he hits it, and then go, it's in a hole.
It's in all. It's in all. Sullivan.
Piece of shit. Yeah, you know what?
All right, Rashy Randy. Yeah, you know what? You deserve that, Rashy Randy.
I've
Fuck
come
you.
around on Rash Man. Fuck
Yeah.
him.
You deserve that rash from your awful mouth.
That is Solitary.
Yay.
Yay!
We made it, guys.
Together, alone.
Chris, thank you for
JP.
being a wonderful guest on our silly podcast.
No, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And again, going back into the Lost world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Chris, is there anything you want to plug?
No, I have nothing. I have nothing to shill out. I have nothing to.
You want to do your dog's Instagram?
I don't know. I don't even keep that updated. I'm so lazy.
What about
And it's my Instagram. I just only post about my dog. So, because that's
I legit didn't know that.
yeah, it's literally my Instagram, and I just
just
post
your
about my dog
Yeah.
because there's nothing else I want to share with rando strangers
that's
about my
fair.
personal life.
what about any of the shows you're working on? You want to plug them so that people watch them so they get
mean-
another season?
Y'all can see iCarly on Paramount Plus right now. The revival. I worked on the first season there as the second assistant director. So that's the background wrangler and
Yeah.
tell them where to go, when to do the stuff. Not Jorts guy. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go look up who the second on that episode was and fucking.
They probably made a fucking set PA do it.
I'm gonna send him a fruit basket for getting George guy in there.
I'm doing this one for the future.
Oh,
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all are looking to be lost with us, next we're going to be watching Season 2, Episode 22, 3 Minutes.
Oh shit.
That is a Michael episode.
And that's like right before the end of season 2.
Oh, shit.
So that's gonna be probably a pretty wild episode.
Where it's heavy.
Excellent.
So yeah, everybody out there in Lost on Lost Land, thank you for tuning in to our show. I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on in the show?
Nope.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.